Walkaround family, welcome back to another video. Today we have a 2023 Honda Civic Hatchback Sport with a 6-speed manual transmission. Now I'm not sure where you live and how common these are, but this is like my third one for the year. Very low production vehicle because you can get a manual transmission in the Sport Hatchback or the Sport Touring Hatchback, but you can't get it in the sedan unless you get an SI. Also, you can't forget about the Type R. So for 23, it's pretty much identical for 22 as far as the styling. It looks exactly the same. There was some changes when the 23s first came out. There was 3 of them, and then they brought back the LX. But other than that, the styling is all very similar. So we're gonna start off with the headlights. So all 23 Civics is gonna give you standard high beam, that's LED, low beam, turn signals, and daytime running lights. There is no fog lights available on the Sport. The lower portion here does have a flat black portion, and the grille is also flat black as well. The headlights do have a more darker theme on the inside, what makes it look a little bit more sportier. And hatchbacks do have a different grille than sedan, and even this piece right here, you get more of a forehead versus the sedan. Even though it shares the bumper with the Sport Touring, you still have a pretty much somewhere where you can actually add your own fog lights if you wanted to. It's just not standard from Honda. Coming back up on the hood, you can see the hood is a lot longer than the previous generation. You do have the H up front that's chrome, and that's pretty much it. Coming along on the sides here, you can see you have 18-inch gloss black wheels, gloss black mirror caps. Around the windows is flat black to give you a more sportier look. And the hatchback does have a standard flat black side skirt built in. So if you add the HBE package on this guy, it doesn't come with side skirts. It already has that. Coming along to the rear, you do have your shark fin antenna that's body colored, and you have the hatch. And this rear end is shorter than the sedan, but you do have more cargo space in the trunk. We're gonna look at that in a second. But the tail lights are a combination, so you do have LED brake lights, but your reverse lights and turn signals are regular bulbs. Civic is in chrome, H is in chrome, Sport is in chrome, and you can get that blacked out through accessories through your dealership. And the lower portion of the bumper, you kind of get like a little fake diffuser look to it, give it a more sportier look. I'm so surprised that you don't get an exhaust tip, because on the Sport sedan you get a exhaust tip. So on the hatchback, it's pretty much not exposed. You do have a single exhaust, but it's not exposed. If you go up to the 1.5 turbo, because this is a 2-liter, the LX and the Sport shares that 2-liter engine, and the EXL and Sport Touring gets the 1.5 turbo. Those will also have dual exhausts, but they don't really expose the exhaust. And the Sport Touring will have like this little silver piece down here as well too, to give you a more sportier look in the back. But yeah, I am surprised that they didn't at least give you the single exhaust tip like on the Sport sedan. Here's Honda new design key. You guys probably seen this in most of Honda models now. Civic Sport usually come with remote start built in on the fob, but because this is a manual transmission, you don't have remote start button on here. You do have lock, unlock the trunk only, and your panic button. And there is a hidden, not a hidden key, but there's a spare key inside the fob as well. But because you have the smart key, you have smart entry. So you have these little lines right here. You tap it, locks it, or you can put your hand in there, unlock it. By default, if you put your hand in the driver's door, Honda have it where only the driver door open. And if you put your hand in the passenger door, all 4 doors will open. You can change in the settings where you have all doors open for the driver. But first thing to notice when you look in here is the combination seats. So Sport will have leather on the outside and cloth on the inside on the seating. And you have this kind of gray design, which is pretty cool. And on the door, you do have soft padding over here. And actually, it's kind of hard touch up top, but down here is soft. Auto up down for driver and passenger. You hold it for the rear doors. Power locks, power mirrors as well. You have some storage in here. Put like a water bottle or something like that in there. And usually you have like a little design here on the upper trims. It's just flat black on the Civic. So Lunar silver with the black interior. And when you get the black interior, it's a lot of black in here. So we're gonna get in here. I'm actually turning it on. So you see there's 3 pedals because you have a clutch. So you push that guy in, push the button. It'll turn on for you. It's a hot day, so I'm gonna get the air going. Make sure everything is in neutral. The interior of the Sport is just a nice place to be in, very modern. Even though this is a lower trim level, you save some money on it, it still looks nice. It don't look too cheap. So the first thing to notice over here, you do have a shortcut to your safety features. That's what that guy is with a circle around it. And then you have your traction control on and off. You have your dimmer switch for your backlighting. You have one vent over here, and the vent goes across the whole dashboard because it's that new design that started in the 22 Civic and now it's on everything. And a lot of people think that this whole thing is a vent. And if you look closely, you can see there's openings here, but there's nothing there, and then there's an opening over there. I'm not a big fan of the gloss black, but it still looks nice. It's a good interior to be in. You do have a leather wrap steering wheel on the Sport, so that's one difference from the LX, and it is stitched as well. It's in gray, some more gloss black in the middle portion of the steering wheel here, and you can see it kind of circle around I'm about to say the headlight, circle around the horn. And you do have some controls over here. So you have your volume knob, you have your source, so you can quickly switch between AM, FM, Bluetooth, um, I was gonna say, yeah, Apple CarPlay, or your audio sources, next track, previous. You do have voice command. If you hold it, it's Siri or Google Assistant, depending on what phone you have. And then you have this house button that will control this screen over here. And it is half digital and half analog. So this side is always speedometer, and that's it. This side is customizable. So for an example, you can see your range and fuel, speed and time, or your wake to drive, who got the seatbelts on, your oil life, your safety features. So you have your road departure and your collision braking mitigation in there, different settings. You can customize it. You can have nothing, start all over again. And it's pretty cool. And the scroll wheel is what you use to kind of go through your options and select anything like that as well. Sport does not come with blind spot monitoring, so it wasn't in that safety feature menu. So on the side mirrors, there is no blind spot monitoring at all. You have to get an EXL or Sport Touring hatchback to get blind spot. So just be in mind of that. On the right side of the steering wheel, you have your safety features. So you have cruise control on and off, cancel, resume, set, and this is to adjust the distance for your adaptive cruise control. This is how you turn off the lane keep assist system. And on your stalk back here, you actually have auto. You have your parking light, and then on and then off. This have auto high beams. Remember, there's no fog lights. And the right side is going to have your wipers. You have front wipers off, intermediate, low, high, and your rear wipers off, intermediate, and on, which is pretty cool. But really easy. You guys could jump into this thing and you kind of know where everything is, especially after watching most of my videos. And on the Sport, it's going to give you the touchscreen 7-inch display. This is also on the LX. And you do have a shortcut for phone, radio, media, and you do have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto button there. Because you get the 7-inch, Apple CarPlay Android Auto is wired. If you want wireless, you have to go to a Sport Touring, because the EXL also have the same screen as well. So Sport Touring will have the bigger 9-inch display, wireless Apple CarPlay Android Auto, and you can plug your phone in. This one, you have to plug it in. So you have USB and Bluetooth, AM, FM, and simple controls. It's touchscreen, tuning knob works, volume knob works as well. So it's best of all worlds. And you have your climate control down here, single zone. If you want dual zone, I believe you go up to the EXL for that. But you do have exactly what temperature you want to put it on, which is pretty cool. You have auto, on and off, your different modes. You do have heated. You have your defroster for your front windshield, and for defroster for your rear windshield, AC on and off. Real simple, easy to use. You have USB-A down here, no USB-C up front, power outlet as well, and this is where you plug in your phone for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Some storage under here, and the center console here is a little bit different because manual transmission, so 6-speed, and the clutch is actually really light, and the going into gear, it's not as notchy as an SI or a Type R, but it's still a little notchy, which is pretty nice. But it's still easy to drive. You can drive around town in this thing, and you'll be fine. If you're learning how to drive manual, you'll be fine. It's an easy combination. You do have econ mode. You have auto stop feature. Even though it's a manual transmission, it still has the auto stop feature. This is what you use to turn it off. And you do have electronic parking brake instead of having a handle. And you have brake hold too, which is cool. So if you learn to drive manual, your seatbelt is on, you turn on brake hold, you're on a hill, this thing won't move till you get into gear. And not just into hill, it just won't roll back or move until you get into gear. So if you're teaching someone how to drive manual, this is pretty cool, because even when it's on, you give it gas, it'll let you go. When you stop, it will keep holding you till you start going again. So cool feature there. You have your cup holders here, pretty simple, nothing too crazy. I love this material here. I wish this material was actually up here, but the gloss black is still fine. And you have your soft touch armrests and decent sized storage. You have a regular glove box. It's not lockable, but decent size. And then your headliner is actually black as well, so match the full interior. So if you really like black, then you're gonna like the black interior in here, because there's some silvers and grays that break up the black in here, but it's a lot of black in here. So you can see the leather on the outside of the seats, and then cloth in the middle, like I was telling you guys before. No heated seats though. You have to go up to an EXL, or if you're buying a sedan, you have to get an EX. But the Sport's pretty nice. You don't have an auto dimming rear view mirror. You have LED lighting and no home link standard either. But you do have a vanity mirror up here with no lights. So I think the EXL will add lights in there. EXL also will add a moonroof. You have no moonroof on the Sport. But let's jump out of here and jump into the rear passenger's door. You can see how wide the door opens. And the half leather and half cloth also mirrors back here too. You just don't get that design, that little gray priest design. I said priest. You just don't get that gray design that's like in the front seats. But sitting back here, you know, plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom because you don't have a moonroof. One thing about not having a moonroof, you save some headspace. So keep that in mind. And you have the rear door here. You do have some tweeters up here, speakers on the door, which is pretty cool. Soft touch back here. Of course, it's hard. No mat pockets behind the seats. And no armrest that comes down to be an armrest and a cup holder, but it's pretty simple back here. No USB-Cs or USB-As or no air vents or anything back here. But you can see the cockpit again. And then LED lighting as well. Pretty simple. Let's jump out of here and take a look at the trunk space. Actually, before we get into the trunk, you do have a capless fuel filler. That alarm letting you know that, hey, your car's running. What are you doing? Capless fuel filler. Technically, the cap is right here. Save you about 0.10 seconds at the pump. And there's no latch to open it. You have to push in to open it. But if the Civic is locked, then this door is locked as well. And coming along to the rear wiper, if I have to mention that. And this one does have a cargo tray. So the Civic doesn't come with the rubber cargo tray. There's something you can add. But it'll have the regular carpet like there. And let me show you guys the spare tire. If we can get to it with one hand. And I definitely can. There we go. And there's your spare tire, the donut with all your tools. But yeah, I was able to get to it with one hand. And for your privacy in the trunk, if you don't want no one looking in the trunk, it does come with this cargo cover here, just for the lower portion. And then for that top portion, you have this little arm here that comes across. And you can hide all your goodies, all your Christmas presents, you know, what you got from Walmart or whatever. But super simple in the rear. You do have, I'm about to say LED lighting. You do have lighting. They're not LED. Regular bulbs back here. And the seats do fold down too. You have to just come around to the side and you pull the handle just like so. And you drop the seats and they split. So you can have both seats down, one seat's down, and plenty of room. But look at the opening on the hatchbacks. This is why a lot of people like these over the sedan. Look at that. You can fit all types of stuff back there. All right, listen. Manual transmission is slowly dying. So the 24 Civics are going to be rolling in pretty soon. You can still get a manual a manual sport hatchback or a manual sport touring hatchback for the 24. If I were you, I would put a deposit down on one right now if this is what you're shopping for, because this 23, this is probably the last 23 Civic I'm doing on the channel, but I haven't done the manual transmission yet. Like I was saying in the video, this is like the fourth one I had in the year. You know, like manual transmission is just not common. So if you're shopping for one, you want a brand new Civic. If you don't want an SI, you don't want a Type R, but you do want a Civic, you want a manual transmission, hatchback sport and sport touring is the only way to go. If you want the most affordable, the sport is the way to go. So we're here with the trim walk, and we're looking at the Civic Sport Hatchback. So it's letting you know that it's going to add or upgrade what the LX already have, plus these guys here. So the Sport is actually really simple. It's pretty much an LX, but you get a little bit more goodies. And to be honest, in my opinion, this is kind of what everyone needs, you know, like especially if you're kind of getting your first car or you just don't want a base model, but you want to save some money. The Sport is just the way to go. So on the list, the first thing you're going to see is 6-speed manual transmission because it's available in the Sport, or you can get the CVT. And let's see, you have remote engine start, but it's only on the CVT, not on the manual. You do have the 3-mode drive system, which is only on the CVT. It's not available in the manual. the 18-inch wheels, the all-season tires, sport combination seats, which is the half leather and half cloth, the sport pedals, but in the manual you get 3 pedals, and leather wrap steering wheel, a shift knob. You do get an 8-speaker sound system, which is pretty good. You get traffic jam assist, Honda sensing feature. That's only for the CVT, so it's not available for the manual, which is interesting. Smart entry, walkway auto lock, and the gloss black power side mirror. So this is pretty much the upgrade you're getting on top of the LX. And also the LX is not that bad, but if you want a manual, you have to get a sport. So let's go build one. So I'm on 23s. I know if you go to Honda website right now, they're showing 24s. And I think the first 24 I'm going to get is a sport touring. That might be the first one I'll do. Gotta see. But let's jump in here. Jump into sport. And then here, manual transmission does not cost any money. So it doesn't cost less than a CVT and doesn't cost more, which is pretty cool. Jump in here. Here's the gas mileage. You're looking at 26 city and 36 highway. That's actually, I like the shifter. That shifter is fire. If I got one of these, I'll probably, let's see if this is an accessory. It probably is, but that's fire. But 26 city, 36 highway, 29 combined, which is pretty cool. Manual transmission, multi-point fuel ejection, all that good stuff. So 26, 36, and then if you look at the CVT, it's 29 and 37. So if you get a manual transmission, gas mileage actually goes down, which is funny because years ago you got a manual transmission because it was, I guess it was more fuel efficient than the automatic, but times have changed. And now speaking of automatic, the CVT, it's different than the automatic transmission, and these things are just fuel efficient. So let's jump in here. Now, sport, you guys should know already. Black interior is the only option. So I'm not even going to show the interiors on here, but you can get crystal black pearl, lunar silver, which we just did, a rally red, and if you get a boost blue, $455 more, platinum white pearl, $455 more, sonic gray pearl, $455 more. So we're going to jump into the silver, and the base price is $26,150 for 23 at the time of recording. I'm sure most dealerships are going to sell out of all of their 23s anyways. And manual transmission, you don't pay more for that. You don't pay more for silver, black interior, or the wheels. And destination handling is $10,095. You're looking at $27,245. So you're still under $30,000 on a sport, but nowadays $30,000, 30 to 40 is about the average pricing for cars now. So the fact that Civics are still under 30, I mean, the next few years, I guarantee you, they're gonna be a sport gonna be touching 30 easy. But if you're trying to jump on one before it happens, you better get one right now. You get a 2-year Honda service pass, 2-year complimentary maintenance plan, which is pretty cool. Let's jump into the accessories. So I don't know why I keep forgetting, but I don't think you can add home link to the sport, and you can't. So yeah, so if you want the garage openers, just keep your clicker on there. Not sure why Honda has that way, but that's just how it is. You can add some of these stuff like there. Let me see, exterior, bike rack, door visors. Yeah, you can't add that for some reason, HPD spoiler, but it is what it is. Let's go back to design, and I just don't like this wheel. This wheel right here, this thing right here, I'm just not a big fan of it. I think it's because of the silver. If that was just full black, I probably liked it a little bit more. But I'm just not a big fan. Also, let's go back. I didn't see a shifter, or am I bugging? What accessories? Did you guys see a shifter? Because I don't think I saw a shifter. I didn't even see a shifter. So why would they show off that nice shifter if you can't add it on here? And also, guys, and girls, don't just rely on this. Like, I will still talk to your service department or parts department at Honda and see what you can order, because sometimes this website be bugging and it don't show everything that you can get, which is interesting. So that's the Civic Sport. Pretty simple. It's, you get all the safety features. You get smart entry, remote start, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You just don't get blind spot, but backup camera, full LED full LED headlights. Like, it's a good package. It's really a good package, and it's a very popular model. Like even that silver one that I did this video on, that one sold, and it's just, Civic is just a good car, especially if you're looking for something reliable. This one, if you're worrying about turbos and you don't want to worry about turbos, you just want a NA engine. Sport is the way to go. The 2 liter. I know the previous Civic, all of the hatchbacks were 1.5 turbo, but all of those were made in that UK plant that they closed down. They don't have that UK plant anymore. So I'm assuming since these are being made in the United States now, because the hatchbacks used to be made overseas, they just like, well, let's just put the 2 liter in there. It's easy. I don't know. I don't know what Honda's thinking. But I'm in everything here. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. If you're shopping for one, did you buy one? Did you not buy one? Would you do not like the car? Why wouldn't you want to buy one? Just let me know. Drop a comment below. I appreciate you guys, Walkaround fam, for tuning into another video. We're actually almost at 2,000 subscribers, so we are growing. If you live in New Mexico and you want to see a Honda or you stop by the dealership, you can reach out to me. I have all my contacts on here. Let me know. I can help you guys out. If you go to my dealership, you're looking for a Honda, you're shopping, make sure you ask for me if you saw my video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to catch you guys in the next walk around.